not going to happen like you and I think it would be. If it was to take, he let us know that things that was done in secret going to come out into the light.
Oh yeah.
Um, it's really not going to matter how long it takes. I tend to think it might not take as long as we would look at it, because he says something along the line of his angels will help to separate the wheat from the tares.
Uh-huh.
That means they'll be carrying out his bidding, and they will know who's real and who is not.
Yes.
And as you go along, I've sometimes thought perhaps when you consider that all things will be revealed, what was done in the dark will come out into the light. It's like, well, Judgment Day may be a time where I don't know how else to describe it except the way I thought about it as a young child. It might be a big screen where your whole life scrolls across, and everybody will get to see what you did and what you didn't do. In secret, out of secret,
That's right.
however. And then he'll let you know whether it's well done or depart from me.
Oh Lord.
What it brings about, though, is the thought that it's going to be a mighty serious time. And if you don't take it serious now, it'll be too late then.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. Too late, brother. Too late.
I've seen a time or two where parents might take an unruly child out,
Uh-huh.
and once they stood up and picked them up, the child started apologizing, "I'm sorry." And I remember hearing one parent saying, and whispering to him, "Now." And when they got him outside, you could hear him in the building. It was too late. And it's going to be that way. And so you look at things and consider this world, how it's changing, some of the things that are going on, things that sometimes, especially in the political arena, even some of us might approve. But you don't really know what you're seeing, and you really don't know what you're trying to vote in office.
Oh Lord.
And it puts it more and more upon us to say, Lord, have mercy.
Yes.
Lord, you allow that which is best for this country, these people, because we really don't know. And I'm not trying to be political this morning, but I am mindful how some people do. And I'm also mindful, I remember a situation where a Supreme Court judge was selected because they thought he would rule a certain way. He ended up getting voted in or approved. But then when it came time to make a decision, he didn't make the decision that some of them thought he would make.
Mm-hmm.
Now they were appalled.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what he was looking at and what he was weighing out. Sometimes people judge things most of the time by their emotions. And when you are a judge, emotions is supposed to be left over to the side.
Yes.
So you stop and consider the things that we do, the things that we believe, they affect us in this day and time. They have a great effect on how we live, what we do, what we don't do. And everybody's got their beliefs, don't they?
Yes.
Some don't think it'll be like this, and some say that's not required, and they say something else, and then somebody else is trying to nail everything down to where you can't hardly move, much less even breathe, sometimes it seems. But one day, and it keeps coming to me sometimes when I'm walking and praying, Lord, you are going to make a final decision. And when that day comes, Judgment Day, we're going to all know what you really have to say about how to live this life.
Oh, Lord.
And so it makes me pray, Lord, just help me to be on the right side of it when that time comes. I don't know what everybody else is doing. I don't know what they think. But Lord, I want to be where you are.
Yeah.
And a lot of this boils down, and even though he mentioned it indirectly about the end of time coming and whatnot, has to do with sin.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask what might seem like an obvious question. What can you tell me about sin?
It's destructive.
It's destructive. It's insidious. Yes. It can work a lot of times and you don't even know it's really working in you.
Oh, Lord.
Anything else?
Sin is death.
It's death and it's a reproach. Is there anything that's maybe not quite so obvious about it?
Man is born into it.
Man is born into it. Consider. You ever thought about how we as mankind, from Adam on up to now, you ever thought about how we try to justify what we do?
Oh, Lord.
And you ever notice that when it comes to sin, people are always trying to justify it in some way, or at least make it not look as bad as it might appear to some?
Yes.
We tend to do that. You look at that and consider that, Adam, Eve had some reasonings in their own mind. And then when the Lord came down that day, then they began to justify. Or in some ways, you could even say they were accusing. Because Adam said, that woman that you made me, I do it fine, Lord, until you gave me a helpmate. And here we are.
Yeah.
And when he turned to the woman, she said, well, the serpent, he beguiled me.
Yeah.
Even though the Lord had told her, or the Lord had told at the very least, told Adam what to do, and then Adam told her. And the only thing I've often wondered and pondered is, instead of just looking at it, you already kind of been told, don't touch it, well, Adam actually said, you're not supposed to eat of it. The Lord put them in the garden to dress the garden. So I can't say that it said don't touch it. She told Satan, the Lord said don't touch it. And then you consider it looked good for food, so forth. Well, you think about that. She tried to justify what she did. He tried to justify what he did, but it didn't work. And then you also consider the things that happen in this world today, the things that you might call sin. You ever realize that a lot of times people do a lot of scheming and planning to get what they want to get?
Yes.
You ever notice that after all of the labor, after all of the scheming, after all of the planning that is bestowed upon committing whatever sin they're going to commit, when it's all said and done, you ever notice that after all of that work, it still comes down to